It's been a real pleasure working with Petronas. You know, they're really, firstly, just they got a great approach, a real humble group of people who are just excited to be a part of a great team and just working their hearts out, really, just to wanting to be the best. And I don't ever want to be working with anyone that doesn't want to be the best. All these partners you see that we have, it's probably the first time I've actually ever been with partners that all want to be the best in, firstly, in their area, but they all want to see what else they can contribute to us winning. And then when we win, the feeling that they have as being a part of the team is huge. So that's really working with Petronas so far has really opened my eyes up to the possibilities technically in the fuel, and I've learned so much from them as they've taken me to their refineries and showed me around uh, uh, actually what they do firstly in the world, but also how much an impact they have on our car. It's pretty huge.
Hey, thank you very much for that. Next, we've got Nikhil from Chicago who wants to ask you a question.
Hi, Lewis.
Hi, how you doing?
Good. So I'm a big fan, and then so in the off season and in between races, people in the factory, all the engineers, work really hard to develop the new car.
Yeah.
But what do the drivers do in between races when they have off weeks and in the off seasons to prepare? You guys go in the simulator for a little bit, and
Mhm.
then you have the fitness regime. Like, what's like a day in the life, like in the off season in between races?
So off seasons. So basically, I mean, I'll give you, for example, last year, I came back to London straight after, like the morning after the Grand Prix. I didn't party when I won the World Championship. I went to dinner with my family. Then we went to the after party of the thing, but it wasn't very good, so I left after like 15 minutes. And otherwise, I was just exhausted, so I go to bed. But generally, then after that, I had like 2 weeks of I was at the factory for majority of the time during the days, and that's sitting and sitting with the engineers, speaking about what our limitations were for this year, analyzing kind of what we have done, how far we've come, what things we can improve on. And for me, at the end of the year, I want to know firstly how the team have felt about my performance, about how I've presented myself with them, how I've handled myself, and any areas that they want me to improve on. And then it's my time to download to them things that I feel they can do better. And then I also have the seat fit for the new car, and I also have I think I had like 3 or 4 days of driving the simulator. So this is straight after the season, last race, and then I get my break. 15th of December, I go on my break, which is I go to the mountains where I have a home, which is really high up because it's perfect for training. And when I get there, I don't like to travel, so it's the first time in the year when I'm not traveling for 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 several weeks. And so the first week, I eat whatever I want, pancakes every morning, like a stack of six Aunt Jemima pancakes and tons of syrup and bacon and all that crap. Just every day, and skiing all day long. And then around Christmas, my family come round, and again we're relaxing, enjoying us, having fun, playing games like Yahtzee and card games, and there's that game you have on your phone where you put it up your head and you have to act it out. The person has to act out, and you have to guess it. I don't know if you know what it's called. And then literally just after Christmas, I start training. So start training. It kind of gets in the way of New Year's a little bit, but last year I went to New York and spent it with a friend, um, and then yeah, it's just literally just keeping your head down, training each day. I have my trainer with me, and when we're training, I mean, last year we had about 3 or 4 weeks, and in that training, we're training 6 days a week, 2 to 3 times a day. So generally, we get up, we'll drive downtown, we'll do cross country skiing for 2.5 hours, which is dead after cross country skiing because it's ups and downs. And then you come back, you have lunch, you rest for a little bit, and then I have to take the dogs out for a walk probably, and then you come back, and then you have to go into the gym, and generally do like an hour and a half in the gym. So by the time you're done with your day, you're pretty destroyed, like 8, 9 p.m. And sometimes the third session will be, sometimes we go in the pool and do resistance work, which is kind of also like recovery stuff. And other days, for example, we'll run down to the bottom of the mountain, which probably takes like half an hour. Yeah, probably like I think it's probably 20 minutes. We get to the bottom. I have my cross-country skis in my back, on top, on my backpack, and my snowshoes. We hike up to the top of the mountain, which takes an hour and a half. And then at the top of the mountain, at 3,400 meters, there's a cross-country ski park, and we cross-country ski for an hour. And then we either take the skis off and run back down to where the house is, or we cross-country ski down, which is really dangerous. So, and that's really it. And then during the season, it's really like, for example, after the last race on Monday, I was training, go for an hour and a half run in the morning. Then again, come back, I've got business calls. I was talking with the engineers about the test, what their plans are. And then, sorry, it's a really long answer. But then I had some doctor checkups, because naturally as a driver, your body's taking a lot of forces through the year, so you have to get checkups all the time for your health. And then you go to the factory. Generally, like, you only really need to go to the factory like once or twice between the races. And for example, I'm at the factory all day tomorrow, and which we'll go on the simulator, and you do a lot of running on the simulator.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you very much for that. Next, we've got Oriel from Barcelona.
Hi, Luis. Thank you very much for this hangout. What do you think is the key to deal with failure and the impact failure has to achieve success?
I think, I think for anyone, you will never really fully grasp the sheer magnitude of your success until you've had failure. And I think naturally everyone just wants to have success, but they both come hand in hand, really. And how I deal with it, I take it very personal. My efforts and my training and the way I direct my energy to what I love and what I've been doing my whole life. I take it very personally that particularly when I fail, especially when I've known how hard I've worked to do it and I know better. Majority of the time, most of the failures come from things that I've already done before, and which I've sworn I'll never do again, or I've practiced to make sure that doesn't happen again. And so, generally, failure is something that over time I've learned to see it as a strength. So generally, during those times, instead of looking at the glass like it's half empty, I was looking at the glass half full and thinking, actually, you know what, from this, I can learn this, I can come back stronger from this. And if I come back stronger from this, then there is nothing that I cannot face. And if you look at like the last couple of years of things that I've kind of experienced in the racing, I guess for some people that are watching the races and kind of turn it on, turn it off, it doesn't perhaps make a huge difference to some people. But for me, it's like, that's my life. I've been racing 22 years, and I only have a certain amount of races left in Formula One. And it sounds like a lot, but there's not a huge amount. And every one that goes by is one less opportunity to show my capabilities. So. But look at Monaco, for example, a real difficult weekend to bounce back from. But I get back into training, and just over the years, I've just built a strength in my mind and belief in myself that no matter what, no matter how difficult it gets, I know I'll eventually get there. So I just keep on going, and it's not that easy to apply. But I tell you, when I've been applying that my whole life, and I've always eventually got there.
Thanks for that, Oriel. Next, we got Vanessa from Greece now. Hey, Vanessa, can you hear us? Vanessa?
You there?
Can you unmute yourself? Yeah?
Can't really hear you, buddy.
Can you up your volume a bit? Can you raise it a tiny bit? Like, we can't really hear you. Vanessa? Do you want to write your question? Okay. If you can unmute yourself, we'll come back to you later when you've resolved your volume. Let's go on to Bifdu from England.
Hi, Lewis.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Great.
My question is, how are you feeling about the British Grand Prix?
I'm really excited. I've just done some British media about with the Brits talking about it, and the British Grand Prix is one of the most exciting weekends of the year because we go around the country, we get to see a lot of fans, and I just know that I'm going to see the biggest group of Team LH people there, and I take huge pride in the relationship that I have with Team LH, and I know that when I always say we win and lose together, I mean it so much. So it's great. I'm really looking forward to seeing as many as I can and at Silverstone, and I really hope that I can make them proud because also it's being my home nation's Grand Prix. It's the biggest Grand Prix of the year, and it's the one you put the most pressure on yourself. The people that turn up and camp out that are there to cheer you on. It's the closest to the end of year championship race that you get to. So I'm really excited and eager to, like I was on the phone to my engineers this morning about decisions with the clutch and all those kind of things, and just hoping that the decisions that I've taken pre-Grand Prix are the right ones. Go unmute yourself.
Yeah. Thanks for that. Yeah, and next up we've got actually a question from someone who doesn't have a video camera, so we'll have to ask you in person. It's from Lucas Lehuca from France. He wants to know, do you play video games?
You know what? I haven't played a video game for ages. It's crazy because I want to, but I just don't get the time. In the winter, I do. I have a really cool spot at my house. You guys would love. I like playing Call of Duty when I get time. Like during the season, I haven't played it once, but in the winter, we'll ski all day, and I built this room that has these 4 TVs that pop up, and then the main screen has 4. It splits into 4. So we play 8-player, and sometimes we play online, but we're playing 8-player on this 8 or 9-player, whatever it is, and we play for hours. But generally during the season, like in the European races, I have a PlayStation in my. I used to have an Xbox, but I got a PlayStation also in my room next to my engineer's room, and I never get to play it. Often I come in there and find my trainer is playing the Xbox. In the last race, I took the Xbox from that room, I took it to my hotel to play, and I never once plugged it in, which I'm a bit gutted about. But I do love games. I really love also Grand Theft Auto. That's one of my favorite games as well.
Okay, I think you'll be glad to hear that. We've got another question from someone who can't tune, and yeah, guys, we've got 2 minutes left with Lewis. From James from Northfield, what race would you add to the calendar if you could add one?
Good question. For me, there's really 2 races that it would be a hard one to choose between, but the Nürburgring, the Nordschleife, the big long fast track, the huge one, I think that one would be pretty crazy. And Macau. Macau is like Monaco, but on steroids. It's crazy. It's great. It's too long. It's a really, really long straight, so you can't overtake, and then you just have the most insane infield in the car. It's just for me. It's better than Monaco, but you don't have the glitz and glamour of the place as you do like Monaco. Wouldn't be able to see all the girls and boats and stuff like that, which would be a shame.
Okay, no, It'd be great if they could be added. No, okay. Well, I think we've had great questions from all our guys. And we want to get back to Thanasis from Greece, if he can tune in again.
Yeah.
Thanasis, can you raise your
Hear
volume?
me?
Yeah.
Okay. Lewis, how did you feel at your first win in Montreal, and what motivated you to win your 2 championships?
Are you from Greece?
Yeah.
Beautiful. I've been there once, many years ago actually, with Nico.
You should come Scathos.
Scathos.
Yeah.
I'd love to go there sometime. I definitely will go there some stage. So Montreal was fantastic. Obviously, winning my first Grand Prix there, and then I don't know why for some reason I go so well there, but it's a track that really you have to be very good on brakes, and that's ultimately has always been a real strength of mine, being on the brakes, and so that's always been a good track for me in that sense. It's one of the strongest, and it's also one of the hardest tracks on brake life. So generally I brake because I brake generally later than most people. That means I brake even when it's more intense. I brake for shorter periods of time, and so my brakes have always been strong. The feeling of winning the World Championship, the last World Championship, was just the greatest. Especially, to be honest, it was really difficult. The night before, I didn't sleep, and normally I always sleep, but I really couldn't sleep. I was sweating, my palms were all sweaty. I was tossing and turning, and I think it's because you know it got double points, which was the worst rule. I had won 10 races, and the guy I was racing had I think won 5 or something, and whilst I'd been more consistent and done ultimately a better job, I think it could have really turned either way if the car had failed or something had happened. So I think really that was really because it was out of my power. I knew in my abilities that I could do it and I would win, but other things could get involved. So, but an amazing feeling once I did win, and the video that all the fans did, the Team LH video we did, that really touched my heart, man. So it was great to see the support and to see people that were with me along the way all these years. So collectively, just one of the greatest moments of my life.
Yeah. Thank you very much for that. I'm glad you could still hear your question. Yeah, thank you very much for joining us in the Hangout and for your great questions from all over the world. And Lewis, thanks so much for joining us.
Yeah, guys, thank you so much for tuning in, and please, keep following, keep your fingers crossed. I'm really going to do everything I can to try and bring this championship home for you guys this year, and really I hope I get to see some of you in the not too far future.
Right. Best of luck at the Grand Prix.
Thank you.
And everyone, thanks for watching. Feel free to subscribe to the Mercedes-AMG Petronas F1 Team YouTube channel and watch out for more great videos, we're going great places. And yeah, comment below. Let us know what you thought. Thanks. Bye.
Thank you.